Alright, hey everybody, this is Scott with Scared City Productions, and we are going to be doing kind of a little workday slash semi-tutorial. And today what we are going to be doing is making one of our poop bowls. And we use a mold that's just a little cheap mold that they had a couple years ago at Walmart, and I believe you still can purchase them. But it's kind of like a little gag Play-Doh type mold. We use clay and make the clay, let it dry, glue it in, and then we kind of do just a little quick paint job on it. And I'm going to kind of go over kind of the steps, and you can kind of get the idea. You can add different colors and stuff like that as well. But I'm going to get right into it real quick. So I've got a couple different brushes. I've got a small one to be able to get underneath a little bit. I've got a big one because we're actually going to paint the bowl as well. So I'm going to use this small brush first just to kind of get underneath things a little bit. And I'm just using a dark brown. So I mean, it's, like I say, this is going to be very fast, very quick paint job. Nothing too crazy. Now I'm going to use this bigger brush and get in. Alright, so our first step is pretty much done. This first step does not have to look pretty. It is a poop bowl.
Ew,
so
gross.
What you're trying to achieve is just to make it look dirty at this point. And the next steps will kind of start showing the details of all this, and it'll start looking nastier and nastier as we go. But I'm going to let this dry for a little bit. I'll be back in a few minutes to put on the next coat. We're just going to do a little bit of dry brushing on here. So what we're doing with it, dry brushing, is we're trying to give another layer, just so it doesn't look just brown all the way through it. And it'll help pick up once we put the grime and stuff on it here just a little bit. I've got one more thing that we're going to dry brush on, and it's going to be green. And I'm going to let this dry for just a minute or two, and then I'll come back and put the green on. Alright, so we're going to put this last color on before we start putting on the finishing coats. What I like using is green on the last coat. Alright, so the last little bit, you're just kind of hitting the high spot on it, so you can still see a little bit of the orange coming through, the brown coming through, and then the green coming through.
That's nasty.
So we'll end up letting this dry, and we'll put one last finishing coat on it, and we may put some blood on it. I don't know, I haven't quite decided. But it is pretty much done with the paint job, and now we're just going to put on the finishing coats. Alright, so we've got everything's dried. It's actually been a day or two since I've messed with these. We're going to go ahead and finish these up today. So just kind of a little recap. You have the clay, the little sculpture, and you glue it in, brown paint, a little orange, a little dry brush into the green. And now we're going to kind of do it's almost like a clear coat, but it's called grime. And what it'll do, it'll kind of darken up some of these spots. It'll help seal it and make it look real nasty. So I haven't quite decided if I'm going to end up putting blood, a blood paint in here or not, which is called perma blood. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do that or not. I may end up going over a couple coats with this grime to kind of get it to the consistency that I like. But you know, if you're happy with it, you know, if you like what you've done, I mean, stop. So you know, I'm doing it for other customers. I'm not necessarily doing this for what I like. So you got to kind of keep that in mind if you're working for other people. Making stuff for other customers, I guess I should say. Alright, so it's got a nice little gloss to it. I'll get a little closer. Yeah! Now, the outside of it, you can do something to it if you like. I may end up doing something to it afterwards, but I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do that or not. But it's pretty much the same kind of process. You'll do a little bit of painting on the outside, do a little grime to kind of dirty it up, because this grime will actually dry a little dirtier, but with a sheen to it. So we really like using it. And if you're curious of where you can get this product at, you can buy the grime at frightprops.com. We've been using this for several years. We like it. It makes our body parts look a heck of a lot better, and all that jazz. What up?
Hey, I'm here. What are we filming?
I am filming some shit.
Okay.
Alright, so we've got the first coat on. I'm probably going to end up doing another coat. that'll help really protect it if somebody was to, you know, get this a little wet. I mean, this is not necessarily meant to ever be wet, like water-wise, but if it gets wet, you know, if I coat it a couple times, it shouldn't destroy anything. Just by once or twice, or if you was to rinse it off or whatever, it shouldn't hurt it. But I just want to get a little bit of extra protection on it. You know, all of our products that we try to do, we try to really work hard to protect the actual coating, to protect all the paint and stuff that we do. So, you know, it really just depends on how much time you want to put into it. If you like the finished product, you know, just however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong. If you don't like using the greens, try with a different color. You know, you want to try it with maybe a little orange and no green. You want to do a couple different shades of brown. You know, there's no right or wrong. And if you're wanting to do it, say if you were trying to achieve a fluorescent, you were putting it in like a 3D type paint, you could do that as well, just to, you know, change up your colors and stuff, and it would come through. So and it would almost kind of look radioactive on top of it. So it'd be kind of a neat little concept if you wanted to do that.
I know what you think. Does Dean Winchester stand in front of you? No, I'm not that sexy. You like what you see? Check out some more stuff.